Carson Wentz continues to be a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. Then again, he would be through March 17 at 4 p.m. Eastern. Anyway, but the trade speculation is running rampant. It has centered, Christopher, on the Indianapolis Colts and the Chicago Bears. Howard Eskin, who has been the radio sideline reporter for the Eagles for a very long time.
Yeah, he's the man.
And a fixture in the Philadelphia media. He floated on Saturday night. Rumors all over. Here's what I'm told. Wentz and a draft pick to the Bears for the number 1 draft pick the Chicago Bears hold, not first overall, their first-round pick. Quarterback Nick Foles and running back Tariq Cohen, who's coming off of an ACL injury but should be ready in September. That was a stunner to me. And look, Nick Foles has been acquired by the Eagles 2 different times already.
Amazing.
This would be number 3. He's been a Super Bowl MVP. Nick Foles and Jalen Hurts instead of Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. I can kind of get behind that just from an intrigue standpoint. Although, I don't know why you fired Doug Peterson if you're going to bring back Nick Foles and get rid of Carson Wentz. It's just a weird vibe right now. Throw on top of it the NFL media report that the Eagles aren't happy with the offers they receive. Well, what are you going to do, not trade him? I feel like it's too late. I feel like the train's out of the station.
Definitely.
You can't go back now.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, one, I think that tells you that there was more issues with the Doug Peterson thing than just the Carson Wentz and the quarterbacks, right? You know, the other thing with just this whole situation, you know, Wentz has got to get out of Philadelphia. We've talked about this. I still believe that it's a no-win situation. So he can't want to go back there. As soon as he plays one bad quarter or one bad drive, the whole fan base is going to say, you stink. We should have never got rid of Nick Foles. Let's put Jalen Hurts back in, blah, 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 blah. He's in a no-win situation. See you, Philadelphia, for Carson Wentz. He's got to make sure that's real. Now, yeah, Colts and Bears. I mean, Colts make a lot of sense. We know that. Frank Reich being there, he fits their offense. Everything would be perfect. But yeah, a guy like Chris Ballard, he ain't giving up like the kitchen sink for Carson Wentz. You know, like with Carson Wentz, there's risk in trading for him, Mike. You know, there's risk in, one, it's a lot of money, as you've mentioned many a times. So that's going to hurt his value as far as what his trade is worth. But also, there's a negative connotation around Carson Wentz. If Carson Wentz goes to the Colts, and this is why I would go Bears. I don't really know why you want Carson Wentz, because you're going to get right back in the Trubisky conversation here. But if you get Carson Wentz in one of these trades and it doesn't go well at first, everyone's going to go, what the hell? It didn't work that good in Philly. Did he really look that good and special in Philly? They didn't want him. We have guys that can't evaluate quarterbacks. What's going risk in that? Because that is where the public conversation is going to turn as soon as he plays bad. And for the Bears, it's already there. That's where I go, are you sure you want Carson Wentz, Chicago? Because if he doesn't play good the first 4 or 5 weeks, all they're going to go is, see, Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy can't evaluate quarterbacks. And that's where I think it's a little risky.
I don't know what Chicago wants.
I don't know
right?
either.
I don't think they know what they want, although they'd love to go back to 2017 and draft Patrick Mahomes instead of Mitchell Trubisky. But I agree with you. For Wentz especially, he shouldn't want to go to Chicago because it's kind of like Philly.
Yeah.
You're stepping into the same problems,
right.
and there's more pressure on you to perform right out of the gates. In Indianapolis, I think he would have more leeway. He'd have more of a chance to grow and develop. Frank Reich has built up enough equity in 3 seasons on the job that he could convince the fans to be patient, that this is a project. We're still in the post-Andrew Luck, what the hell are we doing mode.
Yeah, right.
This is a project. We've got the cap space. Work with us on this. So I think that there's merit to that, and I think the Colts make a lot more sense. If I'm Wentz, I strongly prefer the Colts over the Chicago Bears.
And I was told he
that.
does. I was told by some people I trust that he prefers the Colts situation, certainly. But yeah, you're right. I mean, to the point where, you know, the Chicago one's so weird and odd, like you said. I mean, it really is. It's just like Philly. Oh, you're going to go there and run the same offense, and what, they got some offensive line issues right now. The whole city's questioning the offense and how it works all together, and if the people can evaluate the quarterback is it the right guy and all that type of stuff. And yes, you're exactly right. He'll be in the same situation there with Chicago. I don't know why either one would want each other, really.
And think about it. You go into Chicago, they go all in with Carson Wentz. he walks into Hallis Hall as the guy on whom everyone's job is resting. Because if it falls apart in 2021 in Chicago, you think they're going to have another press conference at the end of the season where George McCaskey says Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy are coming back? I don't think so. Yeah. So they got one shot. They got to make it work. And I don't know that Carson Wentz is the guy to make it work with. And here's the other reality, and this is why I think it's funny how Philadelphia is trying to game this, but at least they're trying to. They got Jared Goff light. This is a situation far closer to Goff than Stafford.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford was a guy that the Rams wanted. Jared Goff was a hot potato that the Rams wanted to unload. That's why the Lions got 2 1s and a 3. They didn't get 2 1s and a 3 for Stafford. They got a 1 and a 3 for Stafford, and the Lions got a 1 to take on the Jared Goff contract. Mm-hmm. Wentz is far closer to that. There is value to the Eagles, and they can try to play the cards as close to the vest as they can, and Howie Roseman trying to play, trying to get the advantage and make it look like they got a lot for Carson Wentz. At a certain point, you got to say, you know what you're getting for Carson Wentz? You're unloading $40 million off of your books. That's what you're getting for Carson Wentz. So take what you can get and move on and get him to the Colts. You don't want him to have his career rebirthed with an NFC team. I mean, I think the Bears are the patsies in this. I don't think the Bears are seriously part of it. It could be Howard Eskin is carrying water for one of his employers. I hate to say that, but hey, they signed one of his checks. Let's goose the market by making it look like the Bears are at the table just to get the Colts to give more. I think all of this is noise aimed at getting the Colts to up their offer so the Eagles can feel like they've not lost in this trade of Carson Wentz.
Yeah, maybe. I don't get it that it's that sense, but you could be right. I'm not saying I know for sure here, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like Chicago's got to make some sort of play maybe for the quarterback situation. It seems like they want to. But
not Carson Wentz.
But I think that's very risky.
He shouldn't want to go there, and they shouldn't want it.
And I think
it's a recipe for disaster.
I agree. All together. The Colts one makes a lot of sense. It really does. And you laid it out there pretty perfectly. And I think that's why somebody like Chris Ballard and Frank Reich are just not going to sell off, all their assets.
Chris Ballard sees through it. He sees what the Eagles are trying to do.
Right.
The Eagles have no leverage. They've got the Colts. And the leverage can't be the Bears if you get – no, they ain't going to Chicago. And the leverage can't be, well, we'll just keep him. It's too late to keep him.
It is too late.
It's too late. So unless somebody else looks at some game film from 2017 and says, we got to have Carson Wentz, they got to do the best deal they can with the Colts and move on, or they're going to have an even bigger problem as they try to get Nick Sirianni off on the right foot.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.